And then next I'm accused of doxing her, which again, I did not do.
For some reason, Katie shared a link that contained a couple pictures of Creepshow and a name.
Shared a link, not seeing that her full name was in there. I don't know how me sharing a link to a website literally that has this person's name on it in a private server.
It is considered a dox, being shared as it was, because my server is not private.
A lot of my subscribers would tell you that I have changed.
Say it. Show your face. Do it now. Show your face. You literally just accused me of terrible things. Show your face.
And I would just hope that, like, if you're watching people's channels that are accusing me of being a serial killer, you just remember, like, nobody, that's just like ludicrous and crazy. Like, who?
Part 5 starts now.
Before we get into the video, please do not send hate to anybody mentioned in this video. All opinions are my own and opinions are not facts. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So what did you guys think of my intro? It's hilarious. I had to poke fun at the whole serial killer thing because I have never heard anybody say that about her, and it was just hilarious to me. So I did like a whole jigsaw theme to it, so I thought it was really funny. You guys will have to let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Today is a part 5 of my Without a Crystal Ball series, and this is all the drama and tea surrounding the whole Tati Westbrook lawsuit that she filed against Katie Joy of Without a Crystal Ball. Yes, if this is the first video you've seen of this series, this is a part 5, so that means there is a part 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this. So if you have not seen those parts, I highly recommend watching part 1, 2, 3, and 4 before you start with this video if you want to. I know it's a lot because there is a lot that this woman gets into. Before we get deep into the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any uploads in the future. Now that that's all out of the way, let's do a quick recap of everything we have gone through up to this point. In part 1, we talked about everything surrounding Katie getting the exclusive with the Tati Westbrook lawsuit that her former business partner filed against her and all the drama surrounding that. In part 2, we got into the actual lawsuit that Tati filed against Katie. We compared tweets, we compared videos, we dissected that lawsuit as much as we could to see if Tati had a good case of defamation or not. I highly recommend that video because it really does like show you what Katie said and did, comparing it to that lawsuit. And then in part 3, we got into all the drama surrounding her going after multiple drama channels. And we also dissected a little more of the lawsuit because I found a video that I didn't have for part 2. And then in part 4, we got into the motion to preserve evidence, and we also got into all the drama with her and Emily Baker because there was a lot of drama surrounding that. We also got into Katie's apology video, and we got into Unirock's live stream where she went off on Creepshow. So I will link all of these in the description box down below if you are interested in watching any of them. So in part 4, we left off on the apology video that Katie put out, apologizing to all the creators that she had like threatened lawsuits to, but it really wasn't an apology because she really took no accountability whatsoever in that apology video. So one thing that was really eating Katie up was Creepshow Art's video that she put out about Katie. And it was like almost an hour video, and Creepshow hit on like really high points where she was like way out of line with a lot of things, including like the Sophie Long case where she called her bratty. And if you guys don't know anything about this, I'm going to give you like a quick rundown on it. There is a little girl that her father uploaded a video of an outcry that she was being essayed. It was like a viral video that the father put on his channel. And when the story first broke, Katie went on a live stream and she called the child a brat. Basically, she said that her her cry, her outcry was bratty. And to this day, Katie makes excuses for calling the child bratty. Here's the clip of it just to give you guys some context.
And I can't believe how riled up people still are about this. I'm like, you guys, you can't literally like, and people are just sharing the video like it's nothing. She was just being a brat and wanted to stay with her dad. Part of me thought she was just being bratty. Like she would just go from crying to fine, from crying to fine. And it reminded me of when my son pitches a fit, where he'll just like pitch a fit to get his way. And then as soon as he's fine. And then when he doesn't get his way again, he starts pitching a fit again.
So because this was one of the clips that Creepshow put in her video, Katie, of course, had to try to prove her wrong, because Katie, to this day, thinks that this clip has been taken out of context. Now, Katie does later on in the stream say that the child is a victim of either her mom or the dad, but it was all after she said everything in the clip you just watched. So anyways, Katie of course had to prove Creepshow wrong, and she uploaded a video onto her channel titled, "Creepshow Art got this part very wrong, the full clip about calling a girl a lying brat." And this is what she had to say. And let me just say, this clip isn't the greatest clip, but I want to show you guys what she had to say in it. So roll it.
I don't know if she was just putting out clips that are cherry picked. I don't know if she's literally trolling, but in this video, she accused me of a lot of things, including defamation, including so many different things. But one of the things that she said is she claimed that I had called a little girl a brat. Now, this is actually not true, and I have the full clip. Now, I did talk about it, but we were talking about something in context. The context of this video is what matters. In the video, we were talking about how you see things online and you're not sure what it is that you're seeing. The video was of a little girl screaming and crying. That it was confusing to me because there was conflicting information at the time coming from the court, which suggested that the dad had potentially coached the little girl. Due to this conflicting information, it was hard for me to dissect whether or not what I was seeing was real or if it had been a coached scene. It was hard to dissect. With a group of my subscribers and members, we were chatting about it, and while I was on the chat, I read a comment and then made a comment after about it in relation to that. I then expanded on that comment and talked a little bit more about what I felt about the girl, and ultimately my reaction was the little girl was not anything more than a victim.
And then the next part is her basically playing the same clip, only she put in there that she did say that the girl was a victim of either her mom or her dad. And surprise, surprise, this video did not stay up very long because people were criticizing Katie for even trying to make excuses for this, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that you came to the conclusion that the little girl was a victim of either her mom or her dad. The bottom line of the entire thing is that you called her fear and her outcry bratty, and that's not okay. So again, Katie removed this video, and in the midst of all this drama with Emily, Creepshow, everybody else, Katie keeps losing her temper. In fact, she was on an Instagram live and went at somebody in the chat. Check this clip out.
I just want you guys to know that is a horrific human being, and I hope you can. This is what I'm going to tell you guys. This woman in the comments right now, she thinks it's okay to tell me to go be with my son because it's 11:48 at night and he's asleep right now. Do it. Oh, so you won't go live with me? Come on. Do it. Come on. You had no problem typing those horrible, horrific, terrible things to me. Go and say it to my face. Come on, say it. Show your face. Do it now. Show your face. Show your face. You literally just accused me of terrible things. Show your face.
What did I accuse you of?
Neglecting my son.
When?
Go be with him. Get offline.
Stop screaming at a camera.
Show your face. Oh, when you're confronted, it's pretty hard, huh?
Really? Because I've confronted you for a while now, and this is the first time you've ever invited me on your live, babe.
Oh, you're so tough. Show your damn face. You're smoking in your house? Are you smoking in your house? Sorry. Children, and you're smoking in your house? You are literally
coming at me and you are smoking in your house. You are disgusting.
So because this woman told Katie to get offline and go be with her son and be a mom instead of yelling at a camera, Katie projected her anger onto this person and literally went off. Regardless if somebody says something like this to you, and it doesn't sound like the comment was that bad. I mean, a lot of people probably have said worse to her. It doesn't warrant you going off on them on an Instagram Live and trying to humiliate them. So needless to say, Katie is out of control at this point, but oh, it gets worse. On November 14th, Unirock dropped a video on his Twitter with a caption that read, addressing the sharing of Creepshow Art's private data by Katie Joy Paulson without a crystal ball. In this video, Unirock claims that Katie dropped a link that had Creepshow's first and last name in it along with some photographs. And this is what he had to say. Roll it.
Okay, this is pretty extreme. I'm not trying to be I'm not being rude or mean or anything else, but I am not tolerating it at all. I don't understand it. I'm not tolerating it. I don't play this game myself. I don't know why Katie put a link in my Discord server. I didn't see it. I'm taking extreme action. I'm letting everybody know. I don't allow people who choose not to have their pictures out there. I do not allow that shared in my Discord server. I give them privacy. People who do not put their names out there, I respect that. 5 years on this platform, I've respected that. I'm putting it out there. I'm stating it. I don't protect people. I criticize people. I know that Creepshow thinks I'm a sided person. If I was sided, I wouldn't say shit about this. I don't know why Katie did it, but she put a link in my Discord server that I cannot confirm. I have to have a meeting with a moderator who is asleep right now. But a moderator saw what Katie shared in my server and immediately nuked it and deleted it and told Katie that she would be kicked for that from my server. Supposedly, they went back and forth for a while, and Katie eventually apologized when I have not talked to my mod yet. So I'm not trying to start rumors, but I will not tolerate private data being shared inside my Discord server. I'm putting it out there right now. Here's what happened. Supposedly, one of my top administrators, longest administrator, this is not a moderator, this is an administrator. I have been given a report from my administration team that for some reason Katie shared a link that contained a couple pictures of Creepshow and a name. I didn't see it, they didn't see it, they clicked it and immediately removed it. No one else saw it. We took the fastest, quickest moderation steps as humanly possible, but I'm putting it out here right now to the public because I will not be silent when somebody does something like that. I cannot fathom it. Whenever my administrator wakes up, I have to ask them what happened and get a full report for it, and then I'll let you guys know.
So apparently all of this happened in the middle of the night and Unirock was asleep. He wasn't even awake when all this was happening. He got woken up by his girlfriend, I believe, that seen messages about what happened. So Unirock woke himself up, jumped on his Twitter, and put out this video. And he didn't have the screenshots at this point. He was just telling everybody what exactly happened, which I can understand why he did that, because it only takes one person to say what happened in that server and for it to get around to everybody. And if he didn't speak up, he would have been blamed as well. He would have went down with Katie as well. So I can understand why he jumped on his Twitter to tell everybody what happened, but told them that he didn't have the proof yet. So later on that day, after everybody goes back to bed, Unirock uploads a video onto his channel titled, Without a Crystal Ball Shares Creepshow's Private Data. Now in this video, he basically just gives another rundown on everything that had happened. But earlier before this video was dropped, this is where it gets really confusing. But earlier before this video was dropped, he went onto his second channel that's called Rocklot and did a live stream and showed the screenshots of everything. But I'm going to play you guys a video that he dropped a week after these videos, because I think out of all 3 videos, the video he posted a week later explains it the best. So the video that we're going to watch a clip from is titled With a Cited Commentary Part 2 Without a Crystal Ball. And this is what he had to say on everything that went down in his Discord server with Creepshow Art. Roll it.
Now, if you look, Katie shared this in the screenshots I shared on my live streaming channel. This video is everything. It's a creep show. I have a question about your next video. You go down, wait, does that have Creepshow's docs in it? There, I'll highlight it. So then the administrator tags the individual that said that. If you find it, do not drop it. Even if it's public, we are very careful not to. The person, the Discord member, was nervous, thinking that she might get blamed for dropping the link or whatever. So then she tags the administrator to say, Katie dropped it. Katie dropped the link. Administrator thanks her, then tags Katie to say, I'm sorry. Without a crystal ball, I had to remove the name comment. Katie dropped it. Now then Katie tags the administrator back to say, whoops, sorry. I didn't see that. It was mostly just tweets in there that are pretty telling. Now, I'll go ahead and interrupt here. The link had Creepshow's full name, whether real or not, it doesn't matter, at the very top of it. Pictures of Creepshow, and a lot of other things throughout, including her name throughout the rest of it. In order to find the tweets, I was told you had to scroll very far down and pass the name a couple times to even get to tweets. Administrator number 4 says, that's okay, I need reminders all the time. Now, I don't even think my administrator looked at it at that point. So, member says, no full names. Katie, I don't go by my full name. This is what you see in the screenshots. Katie, but yet my full name is always used by people. Well, that's because her name is on her second YouTube channel. I'm not going to say her middle name, but it's Katie, middle name is the name of her second YouTube channel. That's why people use that, because she puts it on a YouTube channel.
I'm going to jump in here for 1 second, and just to be fair, I don't think she's referring to her middle name. I think she's referring to her last name. But with that being said, Katie uses her last name all the time. She uses it to go in Facebook groups with her reporting. She used to have like a picture on her wall that said her last name that used to be in all of her videos. She uses her last name a lot. So I think that's what she was referring to, but it's not a valid argument when you use your last name with your business all the time. So anyways, I just wanted to clarify that really quick.
Administrator 4, but we can't. Yes, but we can't. Katie says, Uni says it in his live streams. I don't understand this argument. So the administrator comes in and now you got to remember, the administrator is not trying to add any personal feelings. She's trying to moderate and do what she has to do to rectify the situation, and then later tell, me or Rachel what's going on. So then this is the kicker, okay? Katie says that's her real name. I want to stress this one. This is the kicker. That's her real name, okay? Then a person comes in, I don't want to know people's real names. For me, it's sufficient with aliases. As long as you're known figures who have no problem having real names in public, that's my PSA. Administrator 4, we don't want to be seen as doxing anybody in here, even if it's not truly a dox per Uni's request. Because my rule is simple. Don't share anything even remotely like that. Now, another thing you can do is click any Discord user and send them a message. So let's pretend that she wanted to send me something. She could send it in the DM, though I'm not going to look at it either way if it has what that link had. So she could just screenshot it. She could screenshot the tweet that was in that thing. It's not even, it would only take mere seconds. This is what I don't understand about all this. So she says, I totally understand. Sorry about that. So this is the end of the whole thing. This is the end of the screenshots that we took.
So that's basically all the screenshots and what exactly went down in Unirock's Discord server. Now, in my personal opinion, I consider this doxing because given the fact that Creepshow doesn't have her first and last name plastered everywhere and she doesn't say it a lot, even if she has said it before, I still consider it doxing her because if she has shared it before, it wasn't on purpose. Like, for example, myself, if I had shared my name, like on a video by mistake, my first or my last name, it would be by mistake. I am under Mysterious T. And if somebody went and shared links with my private information, I would be furious, even if I had done it to myself before. But that's just my personal opinion on the whole thing. So moving on, Unirock pretty much jumped ship to being on Katie's side, which I don't blame him. Regardless of how you feel about Unirock, she would have brought him down with her. She was bringing him down with her, and he was only trying to help her. So I don't blame him for jumping ship on the whole thing. The thing I question with Unirock is I don't understand why he just now made this realization that she isn't a good person. Like, this stuff has always been out there. Why is he just now realizing this? That's my question on the whole thing. It's just strange to me. So after all of this happened, Creepshow had put some tweets out about the entire situation, and here are the tweets. We're going to go through them. Okay, so Creepshow said, so Katie tried to dox me in Unirock's server. The dox was deleted and Unirock is no longer supporting Katie because of this. This is demented behavior, truly. Then she went on to say, I want to say thank you to the mods in Unirock server for immediately deleting my docs after Katie posted it. While it's worrisome that she has it all and has no problem with making it public, people stepping in is extremely kind. And then she said, literally all the support has been lovely. I'm sorry I haven't responded to all of it. I've been stressed out and have opted to sleep instead of refreshing pages to see what she is going to do next. And then she ends with, not going live because I realized that doing that would end up with me looking similar to Katie, who has literally effed herself up so royally that her attorney-client privilege doesn't exist. So I will just handle this offline like an adult. And that's pretty much what Creepshow had to say on the situation. And I just want to say, doxing someone is never okay. Whether you like the person or you don't like the person, it's never an okay thing to do. And one thing I wanted to read to you guys, this is on the Reddit Without a Crystal Ball page. They put like a summary of what doxing is defined by. And I wanted to read it to you guys because I thought it was well said. But basically they said, doxing is defined as publicly identifying or publishing information about someone, especially as a form of revenge. And when Unirock was reading the messages in his server, she was literally providing links for somebody to make a video on Creepshow. So it's very crystal clear what her intentions were when she dropped that link. And then they went on to say, given Katie's recent history, both web-wide and with Creepshow Art, it is reasonable to believe this was not a mistake. Regardless of intent, and definitely regardless of Unirock's reaction or opinion, the information released by Katie Joy was, by definition, doxing. And that's not all. Keemstar took to his Twitter and released another video criticizing Katie, and this is what he had to say. Roll it.
Out a crystal ball. I was up in my bed. I was nesting. After a long day of playing PS5, Call of Duty, I was just taking a little break. I was about ready to fall asleep. And then all of a sudden, boop, 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 my phone goes off and it's a YouTuber telling me that you just released the docs of another YouTuber named Creepshow. Shannon, the one that you've been beefing with, the one you've been fighting with. You released her docs in a Discord, allegedly. I watched the video. I clicked on the video that was sent to me, and this guy is explaining that he owns his Discord, and you went into his Discord, you were talking shit about Shannon, and then you released Shannon Creepshow's personal information. And I said to myself, whoa, that's crazy. Because currently you're being sued by Toddy Westbrook, and she's saying basically you were like stalking her and making up stories about her and harassing her. And I don't know if the lawsuit actually says the term stalking, but you know what I mean, right? That you allegedly did all these things. And then other YouTubers came out, one of those being Creepshow, saying that she was being stalked by you, or constantly tweeting about her, right? And now this, and now this. Whew. And you just uploaded 2 videos, maybe 3 videos now, saying, hey guys, I'm sorry to the community. I apologize, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I want to be on everyone's good side. We need to come together as a community. Who's going to be on your side now? Who is actually going to be on your side now? No one. You're going to lose this lawsuit. You might lose your YouTube channel, and you're definitely going to be losing fans. I, on Drama Alert, have to make a video on this. All right? Like, that's how bad this is getting. What is wrong with you? I don't think you're mentally well. I think you need to go get checked out. And if your attorney is saying that you're fine and everything you're doing is okay, he needs to get checked out. Make sure everything's going right with him. Like, this is You're making some poor decisions if you actually did this.
So Katie once again gets called out by Keemstar, who is one of the largest drama channels on YouTube. This was uploaded to his Twitter, but still, it gets a lot of views. Now, what did Katie have to say about all of this? Well, you know she's gonna deny it, right, you guys? So while all of this is going on, like Unirock's releasing his videos, Keemstar's putting this stuff on Twitter, Creepshow's responding, what is Katie doing over on her Instagram? She is putting up quotes like, she believed she could, so she did. Never give up on something you really want. It is difficult to wait, but more difficult to regret. And you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Isn't that inspirational, you guys? And while she's putting all these quotes up on the screen, she has songs like, "This is my fight song," or "I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna survive." I mean, seriously? Like, I seriously just can't with this woman. I just don't understand why she does some of the things she does. So the next day, I think it was the next day, she puts more Instagram stories up and she basically addresses whether or not she actually doxed Creepshow. When all this stuff was coming out, this was what she was doing on her Instagram, putting inspirational quotes up. But the next day, she tried to clear the air. So Katie was doing Ask Me Questions and somebody said, "Is it true you doxed Creepshow? Thought it'd be best to ask you directly, not hating." And then all she put was false. And then another question asked, "So Unirock lied about you doxing Creepshow then?" And then Katie went on to say, "He isn't being truthful at all. He had his girlfriend tell me that, quote, he isn't mad at you. He just needs to stream and upload and everything will work out like it did in December," end quote. No idea what that means, but I didn't dox anyone and he's yet to reach out to me to speak to me. And then she went on to say, "I would never maliciously dox anyone, ever. I've had it done to me and it's terrifying. I have no interest in entertaining this fake drama he's creating for views. My opinion is he's trying to create drama between me and Creepshow for content. I'm bored of this game. He likes to play games with people by building trust and then using it against them. My mistake was ever believing he was my friend." And then she released a message from Unirock's girlfriend. And she said, "This is the message she sent me saying he's not mad and I need to trust him. But I haven't heard from her or him since. Our mutual friends think he's overreacting and doing this to create content, and they know I didn't dox her." So the message from Unirock's girlfriend said, "Katie, I just talked to Uni. He's not mad at you. But no matter how scary it is, please keep having faith and trust him as a friend. He promises you everything will work out like in December. He just needs time to upload and live stream and it'll all work out in the end." Shocker, that wasn't the full message. Katie left out a lot of it. So basically, I think somebody in Unirock's server leaked the rest of these messages, and basically what it says, she starts out with, "I did not dox Creepshow." And then comes the message from Unirock's girlfriend that I just read, you guys. And then Katie's response was, "He's causing me so much pain. You don't get it. I didn't dox her. I shared a link because I had tweets, and you told me his video was about Creepshow. He told me that. That's all I was doing, was trying to help him. All of those photos were public from her IG. She doesn't hide her face, and her name is well known. I didn't see the name in the link, and I didn't argue with anyone. I literally understood and apologized. I didn't see her name. I'm losing hundreds more subscribers because of his accusation against me. Why wouldn't he just talk to me? Going online blasting me like this." So that's basically all that Katie had said about the whole doxing thing. But you think she would stop now? It's out of control at this point, right? Oh, no. She ended up emailing both Angelica Oles and Creepshow Art. On November 17th, Angelica Oles tweeted out, "I just received some interesting emails trying to silence me by threatening to deplatform me. Can you guess which YouTuber would do that?" And then Creepshow Art posted a story to her Instagram that said this. Katie emailed me to take my video down and CC'd her YouTube rep while still putting forth the narrative that she didn't say Sophie was a brat, despite multiple clips showing her say that. Because I know she's watching, here's my response. No, feel free to CC that, ya dink. Now, Creepshow Art ended up giving the email that Katie sent to her to a couple different channels, and they made videos on it. And knowing what I know now, Katie's been privacy claiming a bunch of videos that had this email in it, along with privacy claiming multiple channels for using her first name that she has on merch, and it's listed on a second channel and everything else. I'm going to roll the dice and go ahead and put the email in my video and see what happens with it. Creepshow Art gave this email to multiple channels. It's her property because it was sent to her. She has just as much right to publish it online as Katie does or doesn't. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my video and read straight from it, and we'll see what happens with it. Katie has now said she's not going to do any more privacy claims on any other channels, so we'll see if that holds truth or not, or if she goes against what she says, like she always does. So it starts out by saying, "Good afternoon. I am working with my YouTube manager to try to resolve this issue that is occurring between us, and he has asked me to reach out to you privately. This video you made about me last week contains information that is false. While I understand you provided your opinions about me, there are numerous misleading statements about me in that video that have caused a series of copycat videos by other creators you are connected to. Most importantly, there is dangerous accusations that I committed perjury by taking out a restraining order against another creator for, quote, simply talking about me, end quote. There is also the insinuation that I falsely accused someone of harassment, which is not true. There are court documents and mountains of evidence that prove what happened to me. A judge in my state agreed with me. The RO was only dropped because of other pending litigation and can be refiled at any time if the behavior does not stop. Then there is blatant misrepresentation of me calling a child a, quote, lying brat. Again, this is not true. The child is a victim, and I said that a million times. There is way more to the story than what is presented on YouTube." And then she goes on to say, "You claim I have, quote, no sources, but this, again, is false. I work with dozens of sources and have cultivated a network of reality stars that regularly provide me insight about the shows they are on. None of these are true. I am asking you to remove the content from your channel. Your platform is large, and because of this video, I have lost thousands of subscribers and thousands of dollars. Also, to clear the air, I did not dox you. I do not have your address. I don't know where you live. I shared a public link to a website. When I shared the link, I had no idea your full name was on the link. Additionally, I shared the link because the other creator told me he was making a video about you and wanted to know if other creators had accused you of lying about them. This creator said he believed you had a pattern of misrepresenting stories. When this creator told me he was making a video, I simply Googled blank. I found a series of other people that have made similar claims as me, that you put together a video that was at best misleading and poorly researched, or at worst maliciously made to harm their reputations. At least 4 other creators have pushed back at your presentations, and several have threatened to sue you for defamation. The link contains tweets of your communication with these creators and their requests to you to take down the videos. Because my YouTube manager is now involved, please do not take this email and post it publicly. I told you that working privately is what YouTube wants us to do to end this back and forth. If you publish this email publicly, this will become evidence to YouTube that you are not willing to engage privately to settle this back and forth. It will also show a pattern of harassment by you against me, as I asked you to not speak about me. I have no intention of publicly saying anything more about you. I am copying my manager to this email so he has evidence of me trying to reach out to you to settle this dispute. Please understand I'm a creator just like you, making a living on this platform. I do a job like you that commentates on others, but I do not seek to destroy anyone's reputation. Your video against me is seeking to destroy my reputation without factual proof. Please remove this video. Thank you. She is seriously like the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just everything she says, she does herself, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. I just can't deal. I mean, regardless if Creepshow has done stuff like she is insinuating, Katie does the exact same things, and it's just so ridiculous how this woman like never takes any accountability for her own actions, and it's so freaking annoying. Like it drives me crazy, you guys. I can't tell you how much it drives me crazy, especially like covering her. Like this type of shit like pisses me off about her. Okay, so now we're gonna get into Creepshow's response back to her, and this is what Creepshow said. I have not taken the video down. I have no idea why you CC'd your YouTube manager. It feels highly inappropriate, but I don't think YouTube itself wants us to end this back and forth, seeing as they have no stake in it. I highly doubt that they care, especially since the pattern of harassment you have claimed I have levied against you comes in the form of one video I made that is protected under the commentary umbrella. If you state that singular video is harassment, then you must also claim that your over 40 videos about Tati, including the one where you say her legal name, which was not publicly known, is also harassment. Your standards are not consistent, which is alarming based on your content. Stating that you have no intention to speak publicly about me virtually means nothing, seeing as I don't view critical videos made on me as harassment. There are plenty online, and I personally learn from them and have grown. Also, let's not forget, you did try to make a video against me stating that I had been weaponized by trolls and outright lied, only for your own subscribers to rebuke what you were saying because more video came out. Also stating that you shared a link that led to my docs for another content creator to make a negative video about me is truly all I needed to hear, because it shows that the sharing was in fact malicious. The same way screenshots I have access to also state that. This email to me was a mistake, and trying to get people to take down critical videos on you will only make people more curious. Please Google the Streisand effect. I am replying all on this, and if your YouTube manager truly does not have a problem with me making one critical video on you while you have made hundreds on various other people, I look forward to that discussion with him and only him. I would love to converse about why that is and is not okay. Do not contact me again. Oh my God, you guys, I hate reading on like the small print. Like the print on these emails are so small, and like I edit on my phone and my phone is so tiny, so it's like hard for me to like read it all clearly. I hate reading like small print like this. But anyways, so that was Creepshow's response to Katie's email, and she really put it in words that were very well said. I agree with a lot of what she says in this email. So before we move on to the next thing, I just wanted to show you, while all of this drama is going on, starting at November 11th till the present time, Katie has lost about 3,000 subscribers, which is a huge change for her because she always seems to climb up in subscribers, even though she's constantly in drama before all this Tati stuff like started. And that's why a lot of people think she buys her subscribers. But because of all the drama and all the backlash she's getting, she's actually losing subs, and she still is losing subs. And it's like you would think she would learn her lesson at this point, but no. So after the whole doxing thing, Katie actually got pretty quiet. She like stayed out of drama. The only thing that she did that was like really questionable was like a giveaway on her channel that was right before Thanksgiving. She had collected donations from people to put into the giveaway, and people were questioning her on where those donations were going to. At one point, she had stated that she received over $100 in donations, and then when it actually came to giving out like the actual prizes, it changed to only $60. The other thing that she did was she like collected emails and people's PayPal information before crowning like winners to the actual giveaway. And I'm not going to get into the full receipts like surrounding the giveaway. I'm trying to focus on everything like just with the Tati drama. But if you want to check it out, there are receipts all on Reddit, and I usually always link Reddit in all of my descriptions of my Katie videos. So if you want to go check that out, you can. It'll be in the link in the description. Anyways, Katie was like surprisingly quiet for about a week there. She really was. But until Creepshow Art dropped her second video on Katie, and Creepshow had tweeted out this: "Spoiler alert for my video tomorrow. Katie's lawyer, Aaron Hall attorney on YouTube, made a video about defamation. And in response to comments talking about Katie, he clearly agreed that what she said is defamation because she wasn't being a comedian when she called James a criminal." And basically the receipts say, what if somebody says, quote, "He is a professional crook," to their 100K followers asking for a friend? And then someone else said, and what if somebody calls him a, quote, "career criminal," also asking for a friend? Katie's attorney actually replied to this, and what he said is, "Calling someone a professional crook sounds like defamation. Of course, context always matters. For example, if a comedian said it during a stand-up comedy, that may not be defamation." Granted, he probably just wasn't thinking. He didn't probably see like who they were talking about. I don't know how he couldn't, but he probably just didn't. And it's just funny that he pretty much threw Katie under the bus and like said what she did is like probably defamation. I just find that very hilarious. So Katie responded, and this is what she said: "I wanted to address something. There's a false rumor that my lawyer, quote, exposed me. Aaron is not representing me in this case. I have counsel in Seattle who will be making a formal statement next week after we file a response. Thanks." Somebody responded to her and they said, "He did tell the other side he was your lawyer. It's in the receipts. Yes, you have a Seattle lawyer. However, he can be assisting. How does that explain the disappearance of those comments on his YouTube channel?" And then Katie responded with, "Aaron is not assisting in this case. He has not been a part of the case for weeks. There is no conspiracy. Please wait for an official response soon." And her attorney or ex-attorney, whatever you want to call him, he ended up deleting all of the comments on his YouTube channel, and he put out this long-winded statement. So you guys can pause to read it, but I'm not going to read the entire thing. But he basically was just trying to cover up what he had done. So Creepshow exposes this all in her video, and then after Creepshow does that in her video, then stuff starts really, really going down. Katie started filing privacy complaints against multiple YouTube channels. She claims it was just about the email that Creepshow had given to multiple creators, but it was not that. She was privacy striking people for using her first name, Katie, that's all over her channel and everything else, and the email, and publishing her work email that's publicly on her YouTube channel and that she publicly put out during that giveaway I was telling you guys about. But basically, here are a few creators that spoke out about it. The first one is Sleuth, or T by Allie, you may know her as. But basically, she said, "My channel is currently under attack. Without a crystal ball, she is filing privacy complaints against anyone who dared to address her by her first name. So all of my videos are private for the next day while I modify them to not have her name mentioned anymore. This is so stupid. People who false flag people for privacy really need to be investigated and penalized by YouTube." And then Creepshow Art said, "So Katie Joy is trying to get my videos and my channel taken down by putting false privacy strikes, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to put actual strikes on my channel to try to get it taken down. I am confident that YouTube won't let this go through, but still, feel free to download the video, and if my videos are taken down or my channel goes bye-bye, do with that what you will." And then Unirock said, "Katie false struck me for showing an email address. Why is it false? Because she showed it on her channel days ago. So it's public on her channel and doesn't fall under privacy protection. And it's in her description as part of a giveaway. I'll be taking with YouTube. I'll update you. I don't understand filing so many false strikes. Me, Creepshow, Angelica Oles, and many others. It's a strange development." So like T by Allie, Sleuth, she had to go into each video and edit out Katie. Every time she said Katie, she had to edit it out, all of her videos. Like, absolutely ridiculous. And YouTube should have a penalty system for anybody that abuses the copyright system, in my personal opinion. Now, Katie does have her name written all over her social media everywhere. And I'm going to show you all the places where she uses her first name, her middle name, and her last name. I got all of this off of Reddit. They're awesome over there on Reddit. They dig up so much useful information. Go check them out if you get a chance. They're linked in the description box below. But okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. So if you look through each one of these, it either says her first name, her middle name, or her last name. It says it everywhere, all over her social medias, from YouTube to TikTok, to her articles she used to write, to her second channel, to her Facebook page. It's everywhere. So everything she did to these creators is false privacy claims, and she should get in trouble for what she did, period. So after she sends all these false claims out to multiple creators start making videos on her, including somebody that just made a video on her on his Twitter, Keemstar. Keemstar had to chime in on the situation, and this is what he said. Roll it.
Has come to my attention that you have recently flagged a bunch of YouTubers saying they leaked your private information because in their videos that were criticizing you, they showed your email, and you claim that is your private email. So you're trying to get those videos taken down. The only problem is your private email isn't private, it is public, because it's on your YouTube channel in the About section, not private. What is going on? I saw a video from you a couple weeks ago, Katie, where you were like, I'm going to learn how to take criticism better, and I'm sorry to all these different YouTubers you're feuding with. But then you get more criticism, and you do some snaky-ass shit like this. Why? Why are you acting like this? And don't just ignore me. Answer! What are you doing? You're gonna lose your YouTube channel. You can't just abuse the flagging system. If you don't think YouTube isn't paying attention to this lawsuit with you and Toddy, they are. And if you don't think YouTube's not paying attention to all these lawyers talking about it and all these other, YouTube creators getting false strikes from you, they are. YouTube is paying attention to this. You're gonna lose your channel. What are you doing? Maybe there's some part of the story I don't understand. But from the sources I hear, how I explained it now is how it was. Do you have any explanation for this?
I totally agree with Keemstar on this. YouTube's paying attention to everything that Katie's doing right now. YouTube is paying attention to the lawsuit. YouTube is paying attention to the false claims. YouTube is paying attention to the nasty behavior. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of all of this, Katie does lose her channel. I think he's 100% right on it. I could not agree more. And I don't wish anybody to lose their platform. But how Katie acts, she is a dangerous weapon with her platform. She hurts so many people. There's so many people that I didn't even realize she hurt until this lawsuit came out and more people are coming forward and talking about their experiences with her. The first thing I want to say before I read these Instagram stories, because Katie, instead of responding to Keemstar, she posts on her Instagram stories. And the first thing I want to say is that nobody is bullying Katie. Everybody has been giving her fair criticism of legitimate things that she has said or she has done. There is not one video I have seen with such outrageous claims that aren't true. So she needs to take the criticism that people are giving her and make a change within herself and stop lying about multiple things, especially with the claims that she was making on people's videos. Everybody was coming at her that day because of herself. Nobody was doing it to her. She did it to herself. So this is what Katie said. I have said everything I need to say. I will never satisfy anyone with my answers. Every day something I do is twisted and turned into a conspiracy that it isn't. I'm not interested in being part of a community that seeks to destroy others. I want to make content and handle this lawsuit, which will have a filing coming which will show you my side and show you why I'm confident. And then she goes on to say, I don't need to answer to anyone other than myself, my legal team, and my family. Allegations that I've committed crimes or I'm a criminal are ludicrous. When James Charles said that he came close to considering suicide over internet bullying and false allegations, I can confidently say that I have been pushed to that point. I'm taking a few days off because this bullying will kill me if I don't. Okay, so what I want to say to this is that nobody wants anything to happen to Katie whatsoever. But from the last year and a half that she has been on YouTube, there is a list a mile long of people that she has tried to destroy and ruin. And I'm not saying eye for an eye type shit at all. But I'm saying that she needs to be held accountable for her actions, because if she doesn't, she's never going to have a chance to make a change, period. Every time Katie gets in hot water, there's always something that she uses as a manipulation tactic. Whether or not she was serious in what she posted, I don't know. I seriously do not know. But I can say nobody wants her to commit. I do want to say it's weird posting it on social media and then turning off everything online, saying you're taking a break, because you're legitimately making the people that are still following you worry about you. If you are truly having thoughts like this, you need to go to your husband or seek help at a hospital, not post it on social media and then turn off your phone, because that is not the way to handle it. I can understand if you're alone, like if you're a person that's alone, doesn't have a significant other, doesn't have a lot of friends, doesn't have anybody to turn to, I can understand putting a cry for help out there. But that isn't the case with Katie. Doing something like this is just very manipulative in my mind. And like I said, whether or not she is actually suicidal or not, nobody wants anything to happen to her. But using this as a crutch to avoid the behavior that she's been projecting on multiple creators, it's just not okay. It's not okay at all. And the point I brought up just a second ago, the people that are following her, they're going to worry about her. And they did, because she got the cops called on her twice to make sure she was okay. And this is what she posted to social media about it. She said, "Thank you for all the messages. I realize my posts may have concerned a few of you because the police have now been to my house 2 times. Once last night at 1:38 a.m., which woke my sleeping son, who woke up crying and also caused our dogs to bark loudly, potentially waking our neighbors. Then a half hour ago, an unmasked officer came to the door. I understand being concerned, but please do not call the police again. The police are out in the community and exposed to the all the time. We are trying to keep our home free. I have been doxxed repeatedly, and I know many have my address. Because of this, which has already made us feel unsafe. Please, if you are worried, send a DM or message my husband. Please don't call the police again. Thanks." And of course, this entire message is annoyed. She's annoyed. Even though she's the one that posted on social media what she did, people are going to worry. She's annoyed. She's aggravated. And she is the reason why people are calling the police and are worried about her. But, you know, let's not take accountability for that at all. I don't really understand like her logic behind the stuff that she does at all, period. So after she posted this, she was still online here and there, but I think she ended up taking maybe a day offline, but I'm sure she was surfing online, trying to see what everybody was saying about everything. I guarantee it. After her break, she uploaded a video that was titled, "Am I Okay?" And I don't remember what day this was posted on. I think it was like the day after Thanksgiving. It's already removed from her channel, but she had a lot to say in this video. I'm going to play you the high points of this video. The video is an hour long. I actually reacted to it. I did a live stream. It was a complete disaster, but if you want to check it out, I will link it in the description below. But it was an hour-long video, and she repeated herself multiple times in the video. So we're going to just watch the high points of it, and then we will be done with the video. So let's get into the first part. Roll it.
Am I okay is what a lot of people want to know. And yes, I'm okay. I've also been dealing with a lot of criticism, but it's been very amplified lately. And I understand why, because there's this big lawsuit out there right now that has a lot of really big claims that I can't respond to. And it has created this monster where people are trying to sort of, I think, dissect everything I do to justify what they're seeing in the complaint. And they're taking one side of a story, knowing that I can't say anything, and deciding that it must be true because it's in a complaint. And unfortunately, when you're in a lawsuit, you can't speak. You can't talk about it. You can't answer questions about it. You can't share details about it. You can't tell anyone what's happening because you don't want the other side to know what you're working on, and you can't, until things are filed, disclose anything. And that's been really hard because I've known this whole time, like, the truth and what we're working on, and that I don't have anything to worry about. And I know I've been confident in my truth, knowing that what's being said about me is not truthful. But obviously, I can't provide any evidence yet.
So the first thing I want to say to this, thank God she's okay. I mean, everybody needs to be thankful she's okay, regardless of what her intentions were of everything. Thank God she's okay. All right. The second thing I want to say is that, Katie, you have been blasting everything about that lawsuit ever since you got hit with the lawsuit. So that's a downright lie. Secondly, knowing what we know now with your response to Tati's lawsuit, you provided no evidence whatsoever. And given the circumstances of everybody going through the lawsuit, especially when I compared so many videos and so many tweets to it, there is a lot of evidence against you, and Tati has a really good lawsuit. So with that being said, it's just like, be truthful. Be straight up, be truthful. You knew you didn't have any evidence when you filmed this video in your response.
When you get a better understanding of what, from our side, what's been going on, and from our side, what has been said, and from our side, what we've been experiencing, and really what we're facing and what I didn't do.
I would really like you to explain yourself on multiple clips. Like, I would love to just confront you and play clips and see what your responses are, because they are your own words, Katie. They're your own words. Nothing is taken out of context. There is nothing that you can say to say, oh, this is completely blown out of proportion. Seriously.
There's this clip going around of me talking about my research for an article that I was writing, and it's being used to paint me as a stalker. But I was actually doing research for an investigative piece that I was writing at the time for an outlet that I was working for. So when I was on my live stream, which literally probably had like 10 people in the chat, I was just talking about how I had gotten a lot of leads and I was following all these different directions. Coming from the writing background, you always want to make sure that you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, make sure that everything is sourced. And everything that I put out at that time was literally from public records that were easily obtained. It was not digging into anything or, going to people's houses or talking to people's friends. It was nothing at all.
It's one thing to look into public figures, but you looked into Tati's husband, his father, his mother, his sister, if he has any brother, his siblings, Tati's mother, father, siblings. You dug into all of her family, and you dug up birth certificates. You dug up marriage records. You went so far. You brought James and his family into it, and you put out downright lies. And the other thing I want to say is that Pathos, the outlet you were writing for, it is a religious outlet. You chose to write that article. That article did not fit with the website whatsoever. So these excuses are just BS.
And then you have all these other creators that are just sort of like dogpiling on it, not reaching out to me, not asking me for any sort of clarification, refusing to work with me privately if I ask them to correct things. There's been so many videos that have gone out that have literally had false information. And when I reached out to the creator who planted that seed, she refused to either correct it or remove the video, and instead decided to expose me. And I somehow became the bad person. So I pointed out that it wasn't true. And then next I'm accused of doxing her, which again, I did not do. I don't know how me sharing a link to a website literally that has this person's name on it in a private server, when this person has also said their last name on their channel and on Instagram and has posted public pictures and done all of these things.
Like I said before, it doesn't matter if she slipped up and said it here and there. She doesn't have it publicly listed anywhere, her last name at all. And the way you went about it is you were maliciously trying to dig up dirt on her and blasted in a server her information. That's how you are guilty of doxing her, period. Just take accountability for it. That's all you have to do, but you won't. You will never admit that you're wrong on this, ever.
I, again, have nothing against this creator. All I wanted her to do was to correct the video. She wouldn't, which is weird. If you know factually that you got something wrong and someone's telling you to correct it editorially, you should typically want to correct any mistruth that you're putting out on your platform if you don't want to be appearing biased. So when she wouldn't do that, I had to speak to my YouTube manager, who then said reach out to her and ask her and let her know that what she got was wrong and that you'd like her to remove the video, and that, you know, let her know that YouTube is like, you've talked to YouTube about this, that kind of thing. And I did. And instead of, you know, responding and saying, oh, great, yes, I got this wrong, instead she berated me and threatened me. And then she published the private email that I sent to her that I told her she did not have the consent to publish on her channel to further humiliate me.
Katie, you have threatened lawsuits to pretty much every single drama channel on YouTube at this point, and you have harassed multiple creators on your channel at this point, and you have crossed so many lines on your channel at this point. It's so hypocritical of you to say what you're saying. As far as the email goes, you sent the email. That's legally her email. She can do whatever she wants with it. One thing I want to bring up, you guys, and I want to switch gears for just a second, and she's done this to multiple creators, including James Charles, the person that she keeps comparing herself to. But about like 2 or 3 months ago, she went on her channel and published private DMs between her and Janelle Evans that she specifically told her were off the record. And I want to play this clip for you because this enrages me, because Janelle is a DV victim and it's not okay to do something like this. But then she criticizes Creepshow for publishing an email that was legally hers. So roll the clip.
And I'm only bringing this all up because she seems to feel like she needs to call me out, so I'm just going to drop it all here. So I said, how long have you been documenting this? And you can see I said off the record, but you know what? Sometimes off the record is going to go on the record, and I'm going on right now.
And the DMs that she leaked were like going into detail about stuff that David was doing to Janelle, which could have ultimately got her like severely hurt or worse. I'm a DV victim, and if something like this happened to me and what I said to somebody in private got leaked somehow, I would have been black and blue. I would have. And you can't do this to people that are DV victims because it enrages the people that they're with. Anyways, I just really wanted to show that just because I never got to talk about it, and given the circumstances that she has done this to multiple creators, and she is bitching about an email that nobody asked for being published when they legally have the right to publish it if they want to, and she's false striking people because of it. Anyways, she goes on to make excuses for the privacy complaints that she put on multiple creators. And I'm going to play what she says right now, but after like rambling for about 35 minutes straight, just listen to what she says. She makes it clear that this is not an apology video.
First off, this is not an apology video. So I don't know if you're coming here expecting apologies, but this is definitely not an apology video. Am I sorry for some of the things that I've done? Yes. Yes. In the past, have I not understood copyright strikes? Yes. But I don't misuse those today. And I did not strike those channels. I issued a privacy complaint because they published an email that they did not have the consent to publish that contained my private business information. And business information is private. Like, even though I have a public platform, what I'm doing offline in my business is not for the public. And it felt like all they had to do, it wasn't a strike, literally all they had to do if they followed it, was blur it out. That's it. Like if they were showing the email, all they would have had to do is blur it out. That's all it is. It's not a strike. It's just a request to like correct some information. Somebody feels like their privacy has been violated, which I did. And I knew that reaching out to both of these creators, they wouldn't take it down, because every time I've asked anyone to take it down, they won't. So all I'm saying is, like, if you are publishing something that doesn't belong to you, that is a communication that you weren't a party to, you really should be careful about that. Like, that can land people, like, that's a legal issue, and like, it's a privacy violation. We shouldn't be publishing private conversations we're not privy to. If you were a party to that, maybe, but even then, she didn't have the permission to publish it, because I said she did not have my consent. And I said, if you publish this, it's going to prove to me that you're doing this to harass me. And she proved my point.
You guys, this is just downright lies. It's such lies. I'm going to link 2 videos below. One's going to be Unirock's video. The other one's going to be True Sleuth's video. And I highly recommend watching both of them. I'm not going to put the clips in this video because it's gotten so long, but I highly recommend watching what exactly they say regarding the complaints that they got from Katie, because she's lying. She is downright lying. That's all she does is lie. She doesn't learn anything ever. So to end this not an apology video by Katie, she goes on to say that she hasn't been paying attention to the chat and just glosses over the fact that people have sent her super chats, doesn't even thank anybody for them. And then she ends the video with saying that people have been calling her a serial killer. And I swear, I just bust out laughing every time I hear this, because it's just so ridiculous. Roll it.
I'm sorry, I've not been watching at all the chats. And I see that there's some super chats. I don't know if I can't see. I've had the chat off this whole time because I don't want to see what people are saying. If you don't like me, that's fine. Anyways, I have to go. By December 3rd, there will be a document filed, which will have all of the proof and all of the evidence for what is happening to me and what is not true and what I'm going through. And then at that point, if you decide that you still don't like me, that's cool. I'm totally fine with that. Moving forward, I'm not going to be doing anything with copyright or community guideline stuff. I'm not going to be responding to anyone. And I'm just going to like try to stay mentally safe and healthy. And I would just hope that, like, if you're watching people's channels that are accusing me of being a serial killer, you just remember, like, nobody, that's just like ludicrous and crazy. Like, who, yeah. Just consider the source, you guys. That's what I have had to, like, I've spent a lot of time reading about how to manage criticism. And the one thing I'm telling myself right now is consider the source.
I just can't. She's just so, oh my gosh. Not even thanking the people that were giving her super chats, because she was laying on the sympathy so thick in this video. There was a lot of stuff I didn't put in here, but she was talking about her son. She was talking about her ADHD. She was talking about her PTSD. She was talking about so much about herself to gain so much sympathy. And I'm sure a lot of people donated money to her, and she doesn't even have the human decency to thank them for it. She just blows my mind how she just doesn't care at all. She doesn't care about the things she does to people at all. You can tell in this entire video, she doesn't care at all, period. She has no remorse for anything she has done to anybody. But anyways, this video was just a complete waste of time. I can see why it's taken off of her channel. She never leaves anything up. She always takes it down. And it's just like, why even bother if you're not going to leave something up and stand behind what you say? Why even do it? Seriously, when you're removing content all the time, what's the point? And in response to her, consider the source. Anybody that's watching this woman seriously needs to listen to her advice when watching Katie. Consider the source, because she doesn't have legitimate information ever. There is one more thing I want to show you guys before I end this video. So because Katie was talking about Unirock in this video I just played you guys, I just didn't play all the rambling she did about Unirock. Unirock posted this on his community tab on YouTube because she kept saying that Unirock was going to make a video about Creepshow, and he posted this proof on his YouTube to show that he wasn't the one that was making the video about Creepshow Art. But that's not what I want to focus on in this message. The message that I want to focus on is right here at the bottom. It says, they think this is an apology tour, but it's actually an expose the trolls tour. And what she means by that is when she did her original apology video, she wasn't actually making the video to apologize to the creators that she threatened lawsuits and all kinds of other stuff to. She was just wanting to expose multiple people that have been criticizing her. She was never sorry. And I think we all know she was never sorry, but this shows she was never sorry. So really think about that if you're on the fence about Katie, because she's never genuine with any apology she does. She's never honest about anything she says. You can't take anything she says seriously because it's usually a lie. She's a pathological liar. And it's just sad that after everything that she has done, she can't just take accountability and make a change in a positive direction and take the criticism that she's gotten and make positive changes. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm debating whether or not to do a part 6 or just wait until there are more court hearings to do with the lawsuit, because Katie's response wasn't actually a response. It was a motion to dismiss, and she talked about Shane, Jeffrey, and James Charles more than she referred back to the actual lawsuit in her response. So if you guys want me to go ahead and go over the motion just to dismiss, comment down below and let me know, or I might just wait until more information comes out, because I just don't see a point in getting into that yet. If she filed an actual response with proof and everything, that would be one thing, but given the circumstances that it really wasn't anything, I just don't know what to do. So let me know in the comments what you want me to do about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.